everyone, this is Katia Plant Scientist speaking. Now, many of my fans will know that I really love squash. I'm kind of obsessed with squash, and you might wonder, where do all those big squash harvest pictures you see every autumn, where do they get started? Well, this is the answer. What you're looking at here is my collection of squash seedlings here in April. All of my squash are grown from seed, and most of them are heirloom and heritage varieties. Let me introduce some of the main players here. There are several species of squash that are grown as winter squash. Let me begin with the one that's probably the most familiar to most of you. This is a baby bear pumpkin, and it is Cucurbita pepo. Interestingly enough, this is the same species as the familiar zucchini, and here is a young zucchini seedling. We also have the more unusual Cucurbita maxima, which is the variety that most of the interesting winter squash belong to. Here's a Marina de Chioggia, and as you can see, it has these really big leaves. The seed leaves look really similar to the Cucurbita pepo. Now, moving out of that, we also have Cucurbita moschata. This is the Latin name of the familiar butternut squash, and this is a honey nut squash, which is a variety of butternut. But we also have other members of this species that may not be so obvious. This is a new squash I'm growing this year, Seminole squash from Florida. And as you can see, it also has these silvery blue leaves. The silvery blue leaves seem to be a characteristic of the moschata varieties. We also have some really unusual things. Over here, this is a Cushaw squash, which is a Native American variety of squash, and it actually belongs to different species, Cucurbita mixta. And I would say so far, maybe its leaves have a slightly more narrow shape and more of this mottled color on it, but we shall see what it looks like as it develops. Thank you for joining me on my little squash tour, and happy gardening, and stay curious about plants, everyone.